Now that we've gone and we've made our adjustments to our photo and it looks great, we want to go ahead and resize it to the right profile picture dimensions. But before we do that, let's do a little housekeeping. This group one, I want to go ahead and rename this to airbrushing. So I'm going to double click on the name there and call it airbrushing. And let's go ahead and take a look at how far we've come. So if we look at the original image, you can see it was dark, it was grainy, bad shadow on the face. We did some adjustments and corrected that, made it look a lot better, a lot cleaner, and more vibrant. And then we add some airbrushing to kind of smooth it out a little bit so it's not so pixelated and grainy looking and get rid of some of those wrinkles. Now's a good time to go ahead and save the file by clicking on File, Save, and naming your PSD. That way you can always come back and adjust these later on if you want to. I've also applied the layer masks and I've merged some layers together. Typically I might not do that. I might actually leave those the way they are so that I can come back and tweak them if I need to later on. But for this course I went ahead and merged them down just so I had less to work with and it was easier for you to follow along with. Now I want to go ahead and link these layers together because we're going to be scaling them around. So I want to click on airbrushing and then I can hit Control or Shift and select these other layers. If I hold Shift and hit Original, it'll select all three. I can go ahead and hide the background for now. And I'm going to right click on those three layers and select Link Layers. That just links them all together so when I scale them, they will all scale together and not cause any weird sort of problems. Now let's go ahead and resize this image to a profile picture. The common profile picture dimensions are various throughout the different social media, but they're all square. So for instance, Facebook is 180 by 180, Twitter is 400 by 400, Google Plus 250 by 250, Instagram 110 by 110, and YouTube channel icon 800 by 800. So they're all different dimensions, but they're all square. As long as we create our image bigger than all of those, they should scale down fine. What we don't want to do is create a small image, say 100 by 100, and then have Twitter scale it up to 400 by 400 because it will look pixelated. So we're going to go to image and we're going to adjust the canvas size, not the image size. If we adjust the image size, it's actually going to scale the image together, and we don't want to do that. We want to change the resolution of the canvas and then scale the image how we see fit. So I'm going to click on canvas size. I'm going to change it to pixels. And you can see that it's 3000 by 2000 pixel dimensions already. I could do 2000 by 2000, but it's going to more than double the image size. So we're just going to do 1000 by 1000 for now, which is bigger than all the profile picture dimensions of the social media platforms, and it keeps our image size at almost 3 megabytes, which is great. So I'm going to hit OK, and it's going to say there's going to be some clipping. Is that okay? We're going to click proceed, and as you can see, it's scaled down the canvas size to 1000 by 1000, but it left our image the way it is. Now we can scale this the way we want to and fit it within this box. So I'm going to make sure that I have my layer selected. I'm going to go to Edit, Transform, and select Scale. Now I'm going to select a corner, and if I just start dragging, you can see I can have this squishing effect going on. So I want to hold Shift so that it stays proportionate, and if it goes out of screen, that's okay. While scale's still being applied, you can move your mouse in the middle and just click and drag it, and then we can get that where we want it to be. So I can move it in the center. I could scale it up and just do the face if I wanted to. I can pretty much scale this however I want. Because we're scaling down, there won't be too much destruction of the image, which is great. So let's see. Maybe something like that looks good. I can use the arrow keys on the keyboard to kind of nudge it around if I want to, kind of get it exactly where I want. And then when I find a place that I like it, I can just hit the enter key. And that will apply the scale transform. And so that looks really good. I can turn the background layer back on, and that can be our profile picture. Again, if I just wanted to have the face, I could scale that where I want it to, or I could bring in more body if I find out that I don't like the way this looks. So now I'm going to go up to File, and I'm going to click Export. Now I could do a quick export as PNG, which is going to be a great file type, keeping the highest resolution. And if we turn off the background, it will retain the alpha. So we could actually put this image on different backgrounds throughout social media, the web, the internet, other programs, and it will keep a transparent background. Or I can do Save for Web, which will allow us to save a JPG. The JPG is a compressed file, so it actually loses some information, but it also saves some file space. It makes the file smaller so that it loads very quickly on social media and your website and whatever you're using this on. So you can see we go from 3.81 megabytes to half a megabyte, which is amazing. So we'll go ahead and click Save. And then we can go ahead and just call this profile picture finished and hit saved. And now we have that saved out as a JPG and can use it on any of our social media platforms.